lies, damn lies, and statistics. What's going on, people? Welcome to the Hypnosis channel. Welcome back to the Hypnosis channel. Today I'm going to be dealing with one of the major works of hypnosis that have been done to the masses. And this is the notion that the earth is a ball spinning and flying through a vacuum of space around a huge ball of fire, and then it's being circled by another ball. It just so happens that it's positioned so perfectly that eclipses are able to perfectly cover over each other. Anyway, it's getting difficult to explain because it's basically a difficult concept. It's something like a derivative. Any of you ever bought certain financial instruments in which there's like a complex calculation that you have to do in order to understand really how much how much your thing is valued at? Well, the same thing works when it comes to the earth. The more complex the explanation, the further away from the truth we get. So, for instance, the earth is not spinning. Common sense will tell you that when you look up in the sky, the earth is not spinning. Common sense will tell you that. I mean, if we were really spinning, every time we looked up in the sky, we would see some sort of movement. But there are times where the sky is perfectly still. Perfectly still. The cloud will not be moving overhead because it's just not flowing at that particular time. Of course, then the flow will pick back up, which they call the Coriolis effect. Of course, Coriolis effect will cause things to keep flowing, because we are inside of a particular encapsulation, and there's a certain type of airflow that's going on here, and it's different for half of where we are in a circular section. But anyhow, I'm not here to hypnotize you into believing that the earth is flat. I'm just here to dehypnotize you so that you can see how ludicrous and how ridiculous it is to believe that the earth is round, or rather a globe, and that it's spinning, and that it's being hurled around the universe at speeds that are unimaginable. The main thing I want to mention is, if the earth were moving, every time a plane took flight and it was trying to fly the opposite direction of which the earth is spinning, it would have to do twice the amount of work to get the same distance that it would if it were moving over a stationary location. Gravity just does not explain how flying objects are able to go in any direction without having to go against the spin of the earth. Alright. Point is, people, you've been hypnotized, and that's one of the biggest lies that have ever been told. It's a damn lie. And they try to back it up with statistics only because they know that the average person will never crunch the numbers and see that therein lies a great deception. The world is just simply not a sphere, people. The horizon, every time you see a horizon, it's flat. If you look at mountains in the distance, you have an overall flat image. The horizon is always even, people. Always flat. It's always straight. We are in the center of the universe. We have been created by an intelligent being. You could call that being God. We are special. We're in the center of the universe. We've been created by a divine being. We are divine beings. When we make the earth round and make it seem like we're hurling and all of this, it takes away from our divinity as humans, as people. It takes away our divinity. So please, just do a little do a little research yourself, and you know, make a decision. Make a logical decision based on how you can use your senses to determine what's going on, not what somebody told you. They told us, and yes, I did well in geography. I think I got a decent grade in there. I didn't agree with everything, but I know that school is about memorization. School is about getting the answers that they want you to have, not about necessarily proving them wrong. I think any student that tried to prove a teacher wrong would be put out of the class or counted as unruly. As a student, it's just not your place to prove teachers wrong, which in itself is probably wrong because, they say we live in a democracy, but if we can't even contribute to truth, and we can't even say that somebody's wrong without being heavily ridiculed, you're not even being trained to act in a democracy. Folk don't have their own voice. There's so many lies, but the main lie that I'm covering today is this right here. The earth is not a ball being hurled through space. Think about it. The oceans would be like a bottomless cup. You see, a bottomless cup, or a cup with, or water that does not have a cup. And every time we look at the water, we see it goes totally flat. Totally flat. Never any curve whatsoever on the water. Therefore, it's being held in a container, a huge container, and it's not being drawn in by some sort of magnetic force at the core. Folk have not even been deeper than 8 feet in the earth. They have not even touched the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. Are you going to believe them when they say that there's some core down there? Like, really? There's no proof to it, so there's no reason that you should believe it, because there is no proof. There's just not proof. The only things that we have proof of is that the horizon is absolutely flat. When I jump, I land in the same place that when I jump up directly, I land in the same place that I jumped from. And these are things that we can all repeatedly test and observe. Okay, these are facts. So I'm not going to get into the greater details of the Coriolis effect and how that argument does not fly. I'm not going to get into the whole sigma octantis argument, even though that does not fly. All I'm going to do is just ask you to start doing your own research. Use your own common sense. Snap out of the hypnosis, people. Snap out of the hypnosis, people. Signing out.